What are you supposed to do with 500 rupees and a crazy idea? With a vision that's unprecedented and which pessimists are likely to shoot down from the word go. What you do is, you grab a friend, you learn whatever HTML you can through the internet, and you start a website. In Pakistan, photography is usually used in the same sentence as weddings, school photos, and prize distribution ceremonies. But we tend to miss out on just how important photography really is as a tool, especially as a tool for change. In the summer of 2010, what you saw was how the floods ravaged the country. But the only way you saw that was through the pictures, as we saw just how much Boston Global did their job in getting the pictures to us. The way we reacted to the floods, the pictures played a large role in that because we wouldn't have known just how much damage had been done. So because of the fact that we had those pictures in front of us, we could react accordingly. And this is just one instance of just how important photography is as a tool. And this is where Snapistan comes into the picture. For those not familiar with the term, Snapistan is a website my friend Azaz and I built over the summer, which is targeted towards showing you the real Pakistan through photography. By showing you real pictures of the country, both highlighting the good and the bad, to give you a real outlook, a different medium other than the other kinds of media that you have in the country. So, to make this talk a bit more tangible, let's have a little experiment. I'm going to walk on over to this side of the stage, and I'd like you all to put on a really pretty face, because I'm just about to take a picture of you all. And there we go. So, what I've done here is I've taken a picture of a TED audience. But that's not necessarily it, because each and every one of you in the audience represent a certain sector of society, represent a different kind of occupation, represent even a different political agenda. So what this experiment goes to show is that just because you're looking at a picture, at the bigger picture, doesn't mean you're necessarily seeing what's actually going on within the picture itself. That you need to look at a picture and break it down into little pieces. So now that we've done that, let's ask ourselves a few questions. How do you feel about Pakistan as a member of the audience sitting here? How do you feel about Pakistan as a citizen of the country, or even as a foreigner for that matter? Can you look beyond the stereotypes of corruption, of illiteracy, of terrorism? Because while we're busy answering these questions, we fail to notice just how much potential the country has. While we're busy fretting about why we didn't win the World Cup last year, or why there's so much instability, we forget about just how much we can do with the country currently. And that's why photography is an important tool for this, because we can use photography as an impetus for change. We can use photography as an important tool to help us understand ourselves and help us break stereotypes, because the people that you're targeting with this website and with photography in general is people who have internet and people who have access to a website. So those are the people who can make a change. Now, to make this talk a little more tangible, let's look at just how you can put these things into action in real life. Slides, please. Thank you. Here you see a woman from Sindh. Your first reaction is, wow, she's really pretty and she's Pakistani. But if you look closer, what you can see is she's surrounded by men. She has a baby in her hand. And if you really look into the depth of the picture, you can see just how marginalized she is. You can understand through the pain in her eyes. So instead of looking at the bigger picture, you need to break it down a bit more. A chaiwala, a boy running around the street giving tea to everyone in the shops. When you look at this, it's a really great picture as it is. But you also need to understand that there is a sense of opportunity cost that the boy has to go through every single day. The fact that he's not getting an education, the fact that he has no proper childhood, the fact that he's not even, that the only thing he has to worry about is earning for his family. So that is another aspect of it. Here you see a dholwala, a drummer who is usually roaming and hawking the streets of Lahore, Karachi, Islamabad, looking for jobs, looking for a place to stay, looking for a place to play for that matter. So what usually happens is we stereotype him as a junkie, someone who's just doing this for the sake of getting drugs. However, if you really look at what a dholwala does is, he's playing his heart out. Because we have such a large stereotype of this kind of person, we fail to notice just how talented he is as a musician, and that's really very important. Would anyone think that this was a place that was creating terrorism? Because this is from the northern areas of Pakistan, which we usually think of as being destroyed and just a place where destruction is manifested, where there are militants walking around the streets. So because we as Pakistanis and even foreigners don't realize the extent of the beauty, because it's superseded by the fact that we have so many standards and stereotypes of such areas, we need to use photography as a means to focus on things. Even, say, finding the future leaders of Pakistan. So, in this manner, what you have is photography as a tool for change. My idea is that you simply use photography as a catalyst for change. And the only way you can change the way the world perceives you, the only way you can change the way the world thinks of you, is if you start doing it yourself. Photography and images have changed the world before. Why can't we make a constructive effort to do it again? Change perspectives. Change your lens for that matter. Change stereotypes. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.